What's up, party people? This is Tarkus Jude Mossberg here from Facebook, Jude's Junk Facebook comic book shop and YouTube channel. And I just wanted to chat about this placement gate. If you've seen the Swaggle or the Ungraded Truth, where they were talking about the viral post where people are complaining about Todd McFarlane's signature placement, colors, sometimes signatures left off completely. And I thought some of those videos were just fun. You know, I saw the online posts. I actually made some posts, and I think a lot of trolls were mad about what I said, maybe. I don't even remember what I said, but getting trolls to comment on Facebook is kind of normal. But the Ungraded Truth with Swaggle and those three guys, 99 Newsstand, and they brought up about how people were upset about Todd McFarlane not using the colors they wanted, not placing it in the best locations, and he's known for doing that. Maybe CGC didn't even have him sign it in one case, and a lot of people were upset and saying Todd's just out for money. And as someone who's been collecting Todd since the 80s, watched him leave Marvel, do Spawn and Image, I'm a big Todd McFarlane fan. And he always bends over backwards to please people. And this sign event, he doesn't need the money. He does these signing events at CGC just for the collectors. He does the signing events at every con that he goes to. And there could be lines out the doors. There could be people walking up, you know, with 100 books if he didn't have rules in place. So for those who weren't around 4 years ago, he made it a point to only do the full Todd signature, T-O-O-D, on this year's 2025 signing event. 4 years ago, he didn't do that. Some were T McFarland, some were Todd McFarland, and so if you got a full Todd, you were lucky, and if you got a T, you were still lucky and happy, but you were wishing it was a full Todd. And so some people in the community were paying more for a full Todd signature. So he went out of his way to please the collectors, to say everybody's getting a Todd signature. He just couldn't stay there for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, so that's why they limited it. And they didn't know how fast they were going to limit it. And so that's why they couldn't put a deadline in. So you had to jump on it, especially when you saw that it was going to get limited. You had to submit right away. But I understand the frustration of some of the people's where he used a gray ink on a gray stone background. Now, my guess is it was someone at CGC handed him the pen. Maybe he ran out of the colored pens and that's all he had left. Because I saw a lot of that silver gray ink on a bunch of the Todd books. And I had actually made comments about this to someone a few weeks ago that I wasn't really thrilled about the gray color. It's not like the bright sparkly silver, and maybe it was supposed to be, and then the silver wore away and now it's just gray. It just doesn't pop. There's so many colors that pop. I love the baby blue on the ASM 300, and I heard people complaining, I don't want a baby blue on that. So, you know, here's my thing. When I send something into a Signature Series event, I don't give the artist instructions, okay? That's like going to a really high-end hairstylist and trying to give him step-by-step instructions. You don't give an artist necessarily instructions, especially in something like this. Now, you can. He might honor those instructions. If I was an artist and if I didn't like the way you wrote out the instructions, if it too many exclamation marks, if you did it all in capitals, I might think you're yelling at me. I never give instructions on color or placement. I send in 9/8, CGC bags and boards them, and I think when they put the window bags on, they put the large window bags on, so it gives Todd full range to sign anywhere, not like the homemade ones that people send in that are really just small little windows. So I've been pretty happy with that. A few times, one time I got this Mark Bagley signature, sketch. It was just horrible. I put it on Facebook. Everyone said it's probably the worst sketch I've ever seen. I don't even think he realized that he never even finished the sketch. So personally, I don't want to give an artist directions on how to sign the book, right? Okay, I go back to, you know, the 90s when you're at a convention and they used to do it for free. It was all black, and even back then they'd do it maybe in pen on the inside page. They didn't want to ruin the cover, so everybody's doing it on the inside page. And you know, they didn't have multiple ink colors back then. They had black, and maybe it was pen, and a lot of them just wanted to do it on the inside. So over the years, things have changed in the industry. Now you got multiple colored signatures. You got the Cranes, who has, you know, 5, 6 different types of signatures: the short signature, the rainbow signature, the murder signature, you know. And now Rob Liefeld has that pretty cool sketch signature thing. Murder, is this called the murder signature? I have it on a Deadpool, Lady Deadpool, third print, first impression, first print, third print, first appearance of Lady Deadpool, and it was very cool. So I don't think anybody can get mad at Todd McFarlane. You know, he went out of his way. He's going to give everybody a full Todd signature. I think somebody dropped the ball with the gray, though, and I don't know if Todd had anything to do with it. I would guess that if he saw that, he'd say, because he knows signature placement is important. He's the one that's like, no, I'm not going to do it unless it's in an empty spot. So anyways, but if you're paying $200, because that's what it is with shipping and paying them to press it, it was about $190 per book for a Todd book, and I sent in 40. And you know, if I wanted to do all the window bags in advance, I used to do that. I used to do all the pressing on a third-party presser, send them in already in the window bags. And the last Todd event, that's what I did. And I swear, 20% of my books, 10 to 20% of the books came back. I sent in 9/8, they didn't come back 9/8. So something happened between my third-party presser, them bagging it, window bagging it, sending it in, it's sitting around, getting signed. So I have learned to now use CCS at CGC to press it. They remove it, they bag it, and when they remove it, they don't charge the $5 crack fee, the $5 bag fee, and then they press it there. And I expect, I've been getting really good results the last 2 years from doing that. Now these are 9/8, and you know, they don't need cleaning, so a press will usually take care of any little things that might happen at the Signature Series event. But I think it's part of the luck. I mean, that's like people who want to do a pre-order and then they get one in and it's a 9.2 and they're upset. But right on the website, people say you'll get a 9.2 or greater when you pre-order this. And then you hope to get a 9.6 plus raw, and you get a 9.2 and then you're mad. It's okay to be mad, but that's the gamble. You can't get mad at the company because they sent you a 9.2 when they said that that's all they could do is promise a 9.2. And they get to be subjective. So if it's a 9.0, raw, they could still say, it's about a 9.2, so that's good enough. So I'm wondering if it's newer collectors, because if you only have one book and you're putting $200 of your own money in to send it in for a signature, and all you want is, you know, the one guy who posted pictures only had 2 colors, 2 books, and they were both 9/8. So I could see if you're only sending in a couple books and you don't get what you want, it's really disappointing. I always tell people I send in 3. You know, some of the bigger books like Incredible Hulk 340, ASM 300, I would recommend sending in 3 9/6s and hope one pops, because that's gold. And I did that with an Incredible Hulk 340, and I got sent in 3 9/6s and I got back a 9.4, 9.6, and a 9.8 all signed. So the 9.8 signed more than made up for the couple $100 I lost on the 9.2, 9.6, which actually I broke about even. So if it's newer collectors and they just don't know the game, okay, then I get it. If it's older collectors complaining, thinking that they now have a right to tell the artist what color and exactly where to do it, I don't know how you fix that misimpression or misunderstanding. I don't know how. You know, CGC has it all over there. I've complained to CGC about sketches that I've gotten. I just sent it into I just sent an ASM 129, and I just got back 2 books that weren't signed at all. So that one book that didn't get signed, that's happened to me twice. A Tom King book, he did the inscription, but he didn't sign it. And they gave me 100% refund. I sent in 2 Tom King books. Both were 9/8. One was signed by Paul Bettany, a Vision book, the Souk variant. And Tom King didn't sign it, but he inscribed it, but he forgot to sign it. So they gave me a full refund. I just sent in a $6,000 book, ASM 129, 9.2, signed by John Romita Sr., Roy Thomas, Jerry Conway. And I wanted to send it in because I wanted the new Punisher logo, maybe get a bump to a 9.4 with the pressing. And I wanted the sketch. So I didn't really need a second Conway signature, but I paid for a second Conway signature and a sketch. Well, Conway saw my old signature and didn't sign it again. And I wanted a second signature and I wanted the sketch. So he just wrote his sketch underneath his old signature. And now CGC label doesn't indicate the year that he signed it, which was 2013. This signature might be different now than it was before. It might actually be better before, so I don't know. But the label doesn't indicate on there that he signed it in 2003 anymore. It says it signed it in 2025. And I've been arguing with CGC, and I wanted a full refund, just like when Tom King didn't sign the book, but he gave the inscriptions. They said, no, we're not gonna do that. And they just flat out said no. And then I went back and complained, and they said they were gonna give me a $30 credit. You know, this was like a $160 signing signature event by Conway, and he didn't even sign it. What do you think of that? I am pissed, but what am I gonna do? You know what? There's not much you can do. You can complain, you can try to negotiate. Would a second signature really have made a difference in the value of that book? Probably not. So rather than send it back in and wait, you know, I'll just let it go. And you got to do that with CGC. You don't get what you want all the time. But I just thought it was interesting that so many people were upset about this stuff. I actually was bummed when I saw people getting these baby blue signatures on an ASM 300. I sent in like 2 9.6s. I was like, oh man, I really would have liked a baby blue signature on that red and black and red cover. And the baby blue matches his feet. I don't know if you remember that. So I think that's right. So I would like to actually recommend a color, but since I don't have a third-party presser doing it in advance, I have the CGC cracking and bagging it. I don't have the ability to put tape on there and make a recommendation, so I just let it go. But I think, and I have a suspicion, artists don't like to be told how to do art. Artists don't like to be told how to do art. If you're working for someone, that's different. They're not working for us. You might think they are, but they're not. They're not even working for CGC. You're saying, well, they get paid to do it. Todd doesn't need to do this. He's not doing it for the money. He could probably make more money staying at home working on something else. He's doing it strictly for the thousands of us that want to get all of his great books signed. Because we know someday he is going to go the way of the dodo, just like so many other great artists. And his books and Stanley's books, his books will go up a lot. And you know what? Life is fragile and short, and he can do a car accident tomorrow. And everybody wants all of his books signed. I want all of his books signed. I want all of his books signed in 9.8, and I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, it is what it is. You don't get happy. You don't get mad. I can't get mad at people that are complaining because they didn't get what they want, because maybe they got the impression that they could recommend it. I don't even know if CGC says, go ahead and write that on the tape, what color you want. I think that's pressers submitting it like that, or people thinking, well, if I put the directions on there. And the way they hand those books to Todd, it might be like 6 books all on top of each other, where what's written on the tape is actually covered by the book above it. So he doesn't even see that. He's not even reading a color. He's not seeing anything. The books, he already knows what colors go well. But I gotta tell you, that gray on gray, I think Todd blew it. And it'd be cool to see if he could do something about it. I don't think he will. I don't think he can. But he's gonna see all this stuff, and he's gonna make notes, and he's gonna make it better next time. Anyways, happy hunting, guys. For all you completionists and Todd McFarlane lovers out there, Good luck with your books. Take care.